All right, how's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. Thank you for tuning in. It's time for a Bitcoin update. Got my coffee, and we're ready to go. So let's look at the macro here. Those of you familiar with this channel and my technical analysis know that this is the Iron Dome strategy that I use, which tracks the 4-year cycles, 2018, 2022, 2026 currently, and it goes all the way back to basically the inception of the 200 weekly here in 2014, or 2013 rather. It's the beginning of the 200 weekly data. But before that, we also had an Iron Dome just without the 200 floor in 2011, so in keeping with it. And then we had the ground zero, where notionally the 200 weekly would have gone beneath, and then here's baby Bitcoin, the inception of wee little baby Bitcoin coming into the world all those years ago, and how many of us wish that we had the foresight to adopt it when it was just a wee little tyke. Hey, well, that's neither here nor there, and no sense crying over spilt milk. The good thing is we have a very rich history to track with the forensics and with the fractal range analysis and in its relation with the moving averages, and so that's what we do now. We notice that the Iron Dome comes after a period of intense bullish momentum. Usually lasts about 2 years, and then we got about a 2-year macro bear winter, and then a 2-year bullish winter, and then we enter into summer rather, and we enter into a distribution phase, which is manifested by the Iron Dome, and so that's what this is here. So now we switch to these are the fractals we're looking at. This is the 2026 underneath the Iron Dome, and so we're expecting Bitcoin to continue to do what it's been doing for however many years we've been tracking it since the Iron Domes in 2013. So what is that, 13 years now? Where once we go under the Iron Dome, it goes down, price action goes down, touches the 200 weekly, and then goes back up. We saw that here in 2022. We saw that during the Black Swan during the pandemic. We saw that here in 2018, and we saw this here in 2014, and all the way back to 2011. So it's done it so far every time we've had the Iron Dome, and we see no reason why it's not going to do it this year again, especially when we have these two sister fractals playing out almost identically. We're going to blow it up now forensically and see. Here's 2022, 2026. This is when it went under the Iron Dome after making the all-time high, and now here is the current after making the all-time high. And we see many of the Wyckoff events are replicating pretty much. It's undeniable here, and we anchored the volume weighted average price to the selling climax in both, and so you could see here I've delineated all the conspicuous Wyckoff events. We have the selling climax, we have this area here as it makes its way up to the automatic rally point. We have some upthrust action all above the anchored VWAP line or the ice line. So this is actually the creek. This is above the creek here, and then we come down to create the sign of weakness in B. Well, actually, the secondary test. We noticed that the secondary test 4 years ago, this area had a lot more play beneath the ice here, whereas it came straight back up this year, and we went right into the upthrust action, creating this micro trend resistance line. All of this taking place above the creek, and then we come down to the sign of weakness in B. Sign of weakness in B, this area. We had more liquidity runs back about 4 years ago. We had this liquidity run, whereas the liquidity runs this year just managed to go up atop the ice, and it really amounted to nothing but like an ascending triangle here. If you take the microtrend support line as the ascension here, we kind of had an ascending triangle here as well, and then we crossed back over the creek. That's what this green circle represents, and then we came up. We have another microtrend resistance line going through, dissecting the this parallel channel, if you would, and so in both here, delineated by the upthrust action, the series of upthrust actions, and then the liquidity raids as the price works its way down to the sign of weakness in B. And so we have this diagonal microtrend resistance line here, and it eventually it splices through the ice, where the ice meets the microtrend support line here and here in both, and then we cross the creek. And so, and that goes up to the, it consummates with the final UTAD here in both. And then we came down. Now notice 4 years ago, as we descended, as we marked down from the UTAD, we had a mitigation here at this LPSY point, right at microtrend support here. That would correspond to this line for us today. And then we had the bounces off this microtrend support line here, and we see that here in this. So this is these events here at this latter half of this redistribution range are playing out very close. They're like twins here. It's just uncanny. The only difference is we haven't gone up to the microtrend. We haven't penetrated the ice as far as we've done here, this like 4 years ago, and come back up to mitigate this liquidity void here. That would be this void as well. We're kind of getting stopped out at the ice, kind of like we did here. So we could come back down and make a third touch at the microtrend support line. What we're looking for, what's going to alert us that this thing is going to invalidate, is if the price action comes up, not only retakes the ice like it did here, but comes up and doesn't get rejected off this yellow microtrend support line, and instead establishes support on top of it. That's being if we come up to hit this liquidity void here, which is at about 93.1. We're at 89.3 right now. But if we get up to 93.1 and we establish support, and we start working our way up back up this channel, then we would know that these fractals are probably invalidated. But I don't see that happening. I see the double bottoms here, where I circled in white, and then so this is this here. We had the double bottom, and now I wouldn't be surprised if we have another attempt up at this microtrend support line here, kind of like it did here 4 years ago, which basically all this amounts to is a mitigation, and then down, and then back through the ice conclusively. In fact, we could probably I could have probably made another circle here, because this was the last time it was able to go through the ice. And once it hit this point, after this mitigation of the liquidity void at 93,000, it came back down beneath the ice. It was from that point on, it was unable to get back up above the ice, and then we see the macro sell-off from here, where it broke the second LPSY, the microtrend support of this LPSY. And so, like I said here in the charts, I kind of labeled it, anything beneath this microtrend support line, the yellow microtrend support line, is going to count as bearish. Even if we suddenly get a liquidity run up, this is what I've been telling people in my group, look for or just be aware of a last minute liquidity grab. It's basically exit liquidity. That's taking into consideration that these aren't going to be invalidated. We're going to see one less liquidity run all the way up here to mitigate, and then down. And then once we come down, if we have a rejection after this liquidity grab and we come back down beneath the ice, then that's it. I would definitely put on scuba gear, because we're going under. What does the fundamentals look like right now? Like, what's going on in the news? Bitcoin faces Fed test as analysts warn a possible dip below 80,000. All right, so now they're starting to catch wind. I'm seeing more and more analysts flip bearish now. You know, we've been bearish all along. We've been bearish for almost 2 months now because we've been going off the fractals and the Iron Dome. So yeah, a lot of people are just kind of getting on the wagon now, but we've already been there. Bitcoin traded defensively around 88. I want to show you here U.S. flows, ETFs, which is exchange traded funds, flip to outflows. Yeah, they've been outflowing for a long time. And that's basically smart money, and we tracked that with the Nupal, right? We looked at that from the STH Nupal. Remember the charts we did not too long ago, and the cumulative value days destroyed. We looked at those as well. So, and all of them have been showing a divergence in to the price action. So the Nupal's been decreasing while the price action's been rising, and we saw that through this accumulation, this last accumulation range. Before we entered into the distribution that we're currently in. And so what's this saying? It's saying Bitcoin traded at 88 early today and rose as Asia opened. Guys, this is like one of those things. Look for, like, whenever they make reference to like Asia and all that, it's BS, guys. It's just they use China, Korea, Japan, the Asian markets, the Russian markets, and all that. It's just bait to manipulate herd emotion, thinking that because these guys are ostensibly joining in, Asia's joining in, that it's either going to go up or down, like that's going to give it the boost, and it usually does the opposite. So just be aware of that. These are kind of trigger words that you see in these articles, because remember, composite operators use these things to manipulate herd mentality and go the opposite way. So, but it is saying here, Wyckoff spring risk below 80,000 per. Now, it's not really going to be a spring going back to, it's funny because these things usually never mention Wyckoff, but this is what they're referring to. This would be the spring. But a spring denotes that it's basically a trap. A spring would be in this case, they're implying that the spring is a bear trap. And so, especially if it happens under 80,000. So they're saying that if we go under 80 here, they're saying if we go beneath 80 would be here, that this would be as far as it would go, to 80 and down. But we know from the Iron Dome that would transgress the Iron Dome theory, because the 200 weekly is far below 80. So I don't think it was a spring potentially. I think it's just a markdown. It would be a second, this is a second LPSY area here, and then we would go down deeper to here. And so, unless it gets invalidated, which it very well may, but then that would invalidate Iron Dome theory, which is not ironclad, no pun intended, but the Iron Dome versus Bitcoin, as you know, has been undefeated. So it would be an anomaly. It would be the first. It would be unprecedented for us to not touch the 200 before we have the correction back up to create all new accumulation ranges. That's what I'm trying to say. And with that, guys, I'm going to let you go. Gone on long enough. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for all the new subscriptions and for all the encouragement. I hope this TA helps. Like, subscribe if you want to get more daily updates and actually reach out. We could talk, we could chat, check out our private Discord group where I put other charts up in there of Bitcoin and things. I can answer questions. I can even look at some of your coins if you've got something that you're interested in. You just want my 2 cents. You could reach out via Discord, which is through Patreon, and then of course I have the Iron Dome indicator in there as well, the script for it. So if any of these things interest you, that is available. Those options are available. If not, you can get plenty just off these free YouTube videos that I try to upload with regularity. So with that, I'm going to let you go. May God richly bless you in Jesus' name. Stay warm, stay safe, and none of what you've seen or heard here is financial advice, but you already knew that, right? All right, guys. God bless. Talk to you later. Adios. Bye.